Baseball season's here, and we're getting ready to hit the heart of summer. And who better join us than Jon Heyman of MLB Network? Let's go for a walk and talk about how the season's going and what we could come up to see it over the next couple of months.
All right, looking forward to it, Frank. Great to be
Beautiful.
here. All right, let's go.
Frank walks. It's time for Frank walks.
Oh, we're in the heart of Midtown.
Yes, you're a New Jersey guy, though. I have to say, the New Jersey Transit, I'm a little disappointed because they're pretty, compared to the subway, and here you hear the subway, not that terrible, but I understand you missed a Mets home opener or something because they were late, right?
Well, I actually think the New York City subway is pretty reliable.
Depends which one. I got to do the NW. That's not so great. NRW, but some of them are reliable. I'm kind of with you.
7's always, it's slow, but it's pretty much reliable.
Have you ever gotten the Express? I've gotten it 3 times. It doesn't run very well. They claim it is an Express, but
it's not an Express. It skips 3 stops. And the Express only hits the major stops, not every stop, and that is a long line. It's a 40-minute train ride from Hudson Yards.
All right. Well, you're in New Jersey, so you travel a long way to go to the Mets games.
Yes, I do.
You are a real fan.
Now, season's we're now where we could actually get a picture of the season. After Memorial Day, we're into June, and we're starting to see the stories develop.
Absolutely. And they're good, right? You got to be happy with the way things are going.
I can't complain about the Mets.
Yeah, there were a couple of rough moments.
There's moments where every game where I feel like something bad's going to happen, but
well,
that's just my natural pessimism from scar tissue of nearly 40 years of frustration since '86.
Yeah, and I understand in '86 you missed the ending due to your parents making you go to bed. Very sad. Something you'll never forget. But things are going great. I get it. A few weeks ago there were some rough moments, and I love the Jeff McFeeble line. That was one of my favorites. You're good. You're funny. We got to get you unblocked. I'm okay blocking people, but you should not be blocked by anybody. You are a true fan.
He's actually having a decent year. He's been hitting lately, so I got to be happy about that. Soto looks like he's finally settled in after, the way the Yankee press, and I'm going to start calling that the Yankee press. They talk about the mainstream media, and they have all these terms for different media things. It's the Yankee press. Everything you say seems to be out to the Yankees. It's just good for the Yankees. You go to a Yankee game, it feels like they actually basically think that they invented baseball. They invented America. That's what the Yankees actually do.
Well, every team has, the MLB.com writer and the website writer for the TV station, for the RSN, and there are people who cover the team who are kind of working for the team, but they obviously have a big presence with the Yankees because they're the big quote-unquote biggest team. But I'm with you. That narrative that he wanted to be a Yankee, I don't buy it. If he wanted to be a Yankee, he would have been a Yankee. I think he was kind of undecided. He couldn't quite figure it out, and he talked to his family. I think his family liked the idea of the Mets. They were very impressed by Steve Cohen and Alex Cohen and the whole situation, and it probably didn't hurt that they were getting a luxury box, and they talked it over, and he went with the Mets. I do think he was kind of undecided.
It probably was like just a little thing that put him over the top, and it was ridiculous, but it looks like he's settled in, and I think the key moment happened in LA when the Mets had that game in LA, and for the first time it looked like he was actually playing along with the team. Doing the bottle flip.
Yes.
And that was like, seeing that was like, okay, now it looks like he's finally like really part of this team.
Well, I think he's getting to be more himself. He did a little bit of shuffling. He did a little bit of a jig walking back in L.A.
I think
I was out there for the Post, and we talked about that at that time. I wrote something about it, that he was looking more like himself. I do think he is an introvert. I think he's a quiet guy, and it's going to take him a little while to settle into the clubhouse. And, you know, it feels like it's not been that bad compared to some other guys. Carlos Beltran, who's a terrific talent and was a great Met ultimately. Same thing, started slow. You know, there were a number of guys, Yankees and Mets, Giambi, Alex Rodriguez, who, you know, put too much pressure on themselves at the beginning. I think David Stearns said it correctly, that, you know, it was the contract. I mean, this is an all-time contract, right? $765 million. That's, you know, ultimately, his contract is worth like $300 million more than Ohtani's contract. So it was a lot of pressure, and he did put it on himself. I think he's out of it now, but you never know, of course.
You know what helps is Francisco Lindor. I mean, he's the captain, but he hasn't been officially named captain yet. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. They got to name the captain.
I love the idea. I've written about it. I've suggested it. We had Steve Cohn on the podcast for the Post with Joel Sherman, and it didn't feel like Cohn was embracing the idea. He wasn't like, no, that's not going to happen. But he kind of said, you know, most teams don't have a captain, and, you know, he kind of suggested it might take a little while to do that. So I'm not sure that's going to happen so quickly. I'm with you. I think Lindor is fantastic. You know, some people will look at him and say, oh, he's smiling all the time. It's a little like Gary Carter or Steve Garvey or Adrian Gonzalez, like it's not real. But in his case, I think it's real. I think he's a real guy, just like you're a real guy.
I mean, he's the captain without being in captain, and I got a sneaky suspicion when David Wright gets his number retired, you might have an announcement that weekend.
You think so?
It seems natural.
I don't know.
It seems natural.
I don't know. Well, if you hear about it, give me that scoop. You know, I'd love that, but I'm not feeling that. I am with you. I would make him the captain. I think he's terrific. He's been there a long time. I don't know whether it's because, I mean, Nimmo's obviously been there a long time, and he has a great personality as well. But, I mean, Lindor is going to be in the Hall of Fame, and he's got a 10-year deal with the Mets, and he's got a great personality. I'm with you. I think I think they're making a little mistake there if they don't make him the captain.
Now, we're talking about the early part of the season. There's been some disappointing teams, and one of them is a direct rival of the Mets.
Oh, the Braves.
Yes.
You've got to be pretty pleased about that, Frank.
I'm actually stunned. I keep expecting to turn it around.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. It's now they're even starting to talk of whispers of them selling.
Yeah, I mean, they're 10 under as we do this. So, I mean, anything is possible. You know, they made some mistakes in the offseason, which they rarely do. I mean, first of all, they didn't spend. They let Max Fried go. They let Griffin Canning go. How about Griffin Canning? How about him? He's my neighbor. We live in the same building.
Oh, wow.
He lives right below me. He's a terrific guy.
He's been shockingly good. You know, the Mets pitching lab, I mean, Jeremy Hefner, I mean, he's looking like the top pitching coach in baseball right now. The fact that he takes these guys who are like Griffin Canning was terrible last year, and he's having such a good year at the Mets. I mean, that's got to speak to what Hefner is doing.
Absolutely. I mean, he gave up the most runs in the American League last year, was basically released, non-tendered by the Braves. And, I mean, that is a great thing that the Mets got this really excellent, very dependable pitcher from the Braves. Basically, he could be an all-star the way he's pitched, but I'm with you on Hefner. I think he's kind of the team MVP at this point. I think he's been really just fantastic. He's great at his job.
Now, the Mets have things going well. Now, we're going to have the trade deadline come up, and I don't know if they should probably move it to maybe mid-August, since they don't do the non-waiver moves anymore, but who could become available? Who are some of the big names that might be on the market for the trade deadline this year?
Well, I think the two key teams probably are the Orioles and the Diamondbacks. And I think the Orioles are likely to sell, not settled for sure, but they're 13 games under. And if they do sell, they've got some good players. They shouldn't be 13 under, right? O'Hearn is a terrific hitter, lefty bat. A lot of teams would be interested in him. They've got pitching. They've got Eflin, Sagano. They've got a closer, Bautista. The other one's the Diamondbacks, who I expected to be a playoff team, and they're right now under 500, which is to me shocking. They have a lot of free agents between Gallen
and losing
and Kelly.
Burns.
Oh, that kills. That hurts.
That was like that's just a.
That's a killer. That's a killer.
I mean, they did that was her big off-season pickup, big off-season signing, and now he's going to be out probably until 2027.
Yeah, that's a killer. Now, their offense is very good, and they remember a couple years ago when they only won 84 games and made it all the way to the World Series. So I think that they're not that likely to sell despite all of the issues. Montgomery out for the year. Obviously, Erod having a very poor season. Burns, that's the big one, as you mentioned. But, you know, they may think they can sneak in. Oh, the National League is tough. I mean, the National League is tough. You don't have to worry about this because the Mets, they're in. I mean, there's no question they're going to be a playoff team. But National League, very, very tough. It's very deep at the top.
I mean, then you look at some of the teams that are just like non-competitive, like the Rockies.
It's brutal. I mean, it's not fair that the 62 Mets had that record for what, 62 years. Most losses, 120 losses. White Sox finally get the 121, and the White Sox are going to only hold that record for 1 year. I've never seen a team like the Rockies. I really haven't.
What gets me the Rockies is I was watching it when they played the Mets in Colorado. Nobody booed. The fans are still showing up. The owner made the statement. He goes, well, it's people come to see the sunsets and watch baseball in the backyard anyway. Yeah, we're bad, but you know what we can do about it this year. And it's not like they've been like the Pirates and Bob Nutting, who had good players and just didn't sign them. The Rockies just can't draft. They get good players, but they don't get enough good players. Their pitching is impossible in Coors Field, so they don't. That's always been an issue. But the Chris Bryant signing was so just didn't work. I mean, Bryant's broken down. He might even have to retire. I mean, and they have no prospects, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, they all their signings have been rough. McMahon is not even doing well. Maybe they'll consider trading him. I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, you know, it's nice for the environment. Freeland has not been good. Senzatella has not been good. None of their signings have worked, but you're absolutely right about the fans. Their fans, they're very nice and loyal, but they don't have the passion that you have, Frank.
No,
they do not have that passion. They're the opposite of you. They're still getting 30,000 plus to these games somehow. I don't know, these fans want to see the other players. I don't know. The Pirates fans have kind of revolted at this point, right?
They should revolt. I don't understand it. I get the sense that Paul Skeen's sitting at home. One more day till one more day to free agency. One more day to free agency.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue. When you're that good and you're the number one pick, you're not going to be picked. You're not going to be on a good team at the beginning.
You know what's sad is it's almost like he's in the minors. He's in the majors, but he's in the minors. Paul Skeens. He might win the Cy Young this year. He might be the best pitcher in baseball, but he might as well be in the minors because eventually the Pirates are going to go, okay, we're not going to sign you. We're going to trade you. Yeah, bring in a haul and then start the whole process again. And the fans know they're renting him because the Pirates just don't even like. I mean, the Pirates are smart. They lock him up for 20 years. Finally, open the bank vault. You know, when they open the vault in Pittsburgh. Cobwebs,
right?
Yeah. You can see dust and cobwebs on the money there in Pittsburgh. I mean, they you know what they call him? His name is Bob Nutting. They say do nothing, spend nothing.
I like it.
Win nothing.
I had not heard that. Yeah, I mean, they definitely make a profit. They should not be doing this. I mean, you've got to surround him. If you're not going to surround him, I think it'd be better to trade him if you don't. But I mean, to me, they do make money. They should surround him with better players and try to win. For him to have a losing record, be the best pitcher in the league. Now, we've seen this before. I mean, DeGrom had trouble winning games a couple times, right, when he won the Cy Young. But not to this degree where he actually has a losing record. That's bad.
I mean, his ERA is under 2 and the team scores under 2.
Exactly. That's how it happens. It's not easy. I mean, they had these kind of cheap signings, and it hasn't worked. They haven't picked the right guys.
I mean, we got some owners, and people talk about baseball is unfair. You know what? You got owners who don't even care. I mean, the guy in Fisher. I mean, that mess.
Yeah, it's a mess. At least, I mean, they'll be in Las Vegas, and hopefully he'll do something when they get there. But
I think the best thing for baseball will be, and they're going to break ground. They're going to break grounds on the stadium. Get that stadium built. I wish I could find a way to play in the AAA stadium in Vegas now.
Yeah, it would be better if they transitioned. Right.
Put them in Vegas now. That stadium in Vegas is only 10 years old. That minor league stadium, or it's even less than 10 years old.
Right.
It only opened like 2018.
Yeah, I'm with you. Better than being in Sacramento.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be hot. It's an outdoor stadium. But you know what? Play night games. Put them in Vegas. Put them in Put them in a situation where at least they're playing in a semi-acceptable stadium. That stadium is not even good for a minor league stadium.
It looks like a bandbox. I've never been in Sacramento, but yeah, it's not good there too. I think baseball's doing great. The attendance is up. The ratings are up. People are excited, enthused, maybe not quite as enthused as you are, but generally enthused. But to be in 2 minor league parks, that's the one negative that's going right now. In Tampa, I mean, they're going to have to play almost all the summer on the road. I mean, people are looking at them, they're 5 over or something like that. But they're going to be in trouble. Yeah, it's all home games.
But you know, at least it's a nice stadium.
Yes, very nice.
It's a spring training
and it's in their city. It's in there. It's basically, right, Tampa Bay.
I think the best thing that's going to happen for them is maybe they'll get a new owner, but build a stadium in Tampa proper. You'll fix that whole issue.
That would be good. I'm with you on that. The one issue there would be, I think the football team, and I'm not a football expert, I think they're looking to get a new stadium too, and they're popular in NFL, but I'm with you. Tampa would be better. You could draw off of I-4 from that whole corridor going all the way to Orlando, so I'm with you. That's where it should be.
Well, the issue of St. Pete is that one bridge that goes into St. Pete is
right.
45 minutes at a night game. You're not going to want to take that on a weeknight every week.
Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of a traffic situation. Nothing worse than we're used to here in New York, but they're in Florida. They can't handle it.
They're like the Marlins, a team that just.
Oh my God! Don't get me started.
That ownership. Shame on the Marlins. Shame on you.
They're trying to replicate what they did with the Rays, which is to not spend money and still be able to win.
Yeah, well, you got to draft well. You don't do that.
No.
And then what you do is you get rid of the players before they even we had a good 2 months. Okay, we're going to trade them. And you get nothing in return.
Right.
I mean, they're stuck with Sandy Alcantara.
It might be
so bad.
Yeah, he did have one good outing recently. I'm sure they're hopeful. They traded Luzardo, probably not perfect timing on that one, and they keep trading for guys who are like 18, 19 years old. They're like playing for like 20, 30 or something like that. It doesn't feel like they're getting guys who are in AAA or anything's going to happen for them anytime soon.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to get your opinion on this. We got the reinstatement of Pete Rose.
Yeah.
And Joe Jackson. And eventually, the steroid guys.
Yeah.
Is this Hall of Fame, block gonna break soon? I think it is.
Pete Rose is going to be on that ballot a couple years from now, but I don't think they're going to let him in. I really don't. I think he should be on the writers' ballot. I think he should have the same chance everybody else had, other than the fact that he's waited 30, 40 years and now he's not living. That's kind of a negative.
I think they should I think they should re-put him on the writers' ballot. I agree with that.
Right, I mean, just because I'm a writer, I'm not saying this, but I mean, to me, it's a better idea to give him a shot like everybody else had a shot with the writers. And instead, they're going to, potentially, they have the potential to stack that committee for guys who are not going to be in favor, just like they did with the steroid guys. And I'm not a pro-steroid guy, but that committee was stacked where Bonds got almost no support, and I think they might do the same thing here with Rose.
To me, you end steroid discussion by forgiving the steroid guys. You put Bud Selig in the Hall of Fame. He tantamount gave them permission. He didn't. Everyone knew what was going on. Barry Bonds didn't start using steroids until 1999, after McGwire and Sosa. He was a Hall of Fame player before that. Roger Clemens was a Hall of Famer before he took one steroid. And they lumped him in and just throw him in and throw him out when there's probably already a couple of steroid guys in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, sure. I'm sure there are. And I'm with you. I'm with you on Bonds. He'd already won 3 MVPs. Clemens was close, but I mean, when he went to Toronto, it switched on a dime. I mean, he was basically a 500 pitcher on his covers. I can't argue with you on any stat. I know you know them all, but he only had like 10 years in. It's arguable at that point. But to me, Bonds is a clear-cut case. He was clearly a Hall of Famer, and he waited to use him late in the game. I hope this isn't for us. It's quite something here.
But I hope the Hall of Fame. I hope the Hall of Fame really just gets over themselves. We need to put the best players in, not Harold Baines.
I know that's a touch point, and a lot of people are against that. I'm with you on Pete Rose. Let's get him a fair vote with the writers.
And Joe Jackson.
Sure. I'm pretty old, but I missed most of his career, but I'd still like to see him get a fair shake as well.
You know, the first Met game I ever went to, April 12th, 1985. Mets won the game 1-0. Bruce Brenny pitched, Gary Carter hit a home run, and Pete Rose got 3 hits.
Amazing. What inning was the home run?
Like the 4th inning.
Unbelievable. You're incredible. I don't know how you do it. You're like the Mad Dog. It's unbelievable. This photo. You've got a photographic memory. Amazing. I tried to go opening day of '69 against Montreal. I remember Seaver was pitching. We were all excited, and we couldn't get in. It was we didn't plan, and we went bowling instead. So very sad. Very sad. Not as bad as the New Jersey Transit for you, but still a kind of a sad story.
But thank you for joining us. This is look. I think we're in for a great summer this year with the baseball.
I'm with you. It's going to be a good one for the Mets. They look great. That pitching depth, fantastic. The bullpen looks great, and that top 3. I mean, Lindor, Soto, Alonso. I mean, I understand the Dodgers have 3 Hall of Famers at the top, but this is pretty close. And one National League executive told me the Mets were the best team that he's seen so far, and I'm kind of with him on that.
You know how good the Mets minor league system is looking right now? But thanks for joining us.
Great to be here. Frank, you're the best. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Frank walks. It's time for Frank walks. Frank talks while Frank walks. It's time for Frank walks.